Pick up your phone and record. That's what they say. And that's what we're doing today. Welcome to Through Her Lens with Nita B. No fancy editing, no fancy intro, no script, just us, just conversation. So let's do it. Yo, my son will be 25 in a few days. And this mama over here is tripping. If you have been following along on my social media, on It's Nita B, then you see that I have been reflecting on life this past week or two. And really, it's hitting me that, wow, my firstborn is going to be 25. So then when I start to think about all that, think about life, think about how things have been, it really comes to a point where I started celebrating myself. Wow, Nita B, look what you've done. Look where you've made it. Look just how much you've accomplished. That 18-year-old, fresh out of high school, pregnant, not sure what college she was going to go to or how life was going to pan out 25 years later. Girl, you did the damn thing. And one thing I realized is that I don't celebrate myself often enough. I'm a humble person. I'm a nice person. I don't like to brag. But there is a point in life when you have to learn to celebrate yourself. I feel like for too long, I gave people power in my life, gave people power over my accomplishments, downplayed all that I do, all that I've done, my skill level, my skill set, because I didn't want to seem like I was bragging or full of myself. But what I realized is it's okay to celebrate yourself. It's okay to pat yourself on the back. It's okay to be proud of yourself and all that you have done, all that you've accomplished. Because each day we get up, it is a battle to make it through this thing called life. Because life is hard. Life is extremely hard. We face trials, battles, struggles every single day. So why not take the time to celebrate the small things, celebrate the big things, celebrate anything in life? Celebrate the fact that you made it, that you survived another day. Because there are many people that are not doing that. And as I sit back and reflect on these 25 years, wow, Nita, you did the damn thing. And I didn't just do it on my own. I'm blessed to have a very great support system, a very supportive husband, supportive family, supportive friends. I have a great village that has pushed me my entire life. But especially as that 18-year-old that didn't know where life was going to lead, stood by me, pushed me, stood up, supported me. And I am thankful for that. So here's the thing. Why do we as people, we as women, as mothers, caregivers, always downplay our accomplishments? Why do we not want to give ourselves credit for the things that we do, for the battles that we face, for the strength that it takes to show up each day? And I feel like a lot of that has to deal with society and the way that society has kind of reared us that something is wrong when you celebrate yourself. And there really isn't anything wrong with that. Why shouldn't you be happy for the things that you've done, the accomplishment that you've had? It's okay for us to go out and celebrate others, to be cheerleaders, to give everyone else their props. But why is it a problem when we want to be our own cheerleader? Why do people think that it's a problem when we're cheering ourselves on, celebrating ourselves, showing our accomplishment? It's that mindset of something is wrong if you're happy for yourself. I'm not sure where it came from, what this society has groomed us to believe, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being proud of yourself. The same way you can be proud of your kids, the same way you can be proud of your friends, your family, you can be proud of yourself. And I think not enough of us know that. So I know for one, I am one that when someone gives me a compliment, when someone celebrates me, I always or I used to always downplay it. But now I am learning to accept compliments. I'm learning to accept my flowers and not give excuses, not downplay it, not say, oh, well, it's because X, Y, and Z. I'm learning just to say thank you. When someone gives me a compliment, just say thank you. That's something that I encourage you today. Someone walks up to you, they give you a compliment, they're giving you your flowers, telling you just how much they appreciate you. Just say thank you. When you start to practice that, it's amazing how your mindset shifts. You don't have to downplay your accomplishments. You don't have to make excuses. You don't have to explain them away. Just say thank you. So as I sit here and reflect on these 25 years of being a mother, and I wrote a book almost 10 years ago, and it details my story of becoming a teen mom, how life went as I did not expect it to go, and just the different battles that I had to face being a young mom, being a teen mom, my thoughts of unaliving myself, the battle of depression, the battle to be determined to succeed. But one thing I knew is that I was never going to be a statistic. No matter how hard I had to fight, I was never going to be a statistic. And I'm proud to say my mind, and in that book, I detail the steps I took. I give plans. I talk about practicing forgiveness of yourself. That is one thing I really had to do on my journey, is learn to forgive myself. Once you learn to forgive yourself, then it's easier to forgive others, because I feel like we are so focused on forgiving others that we need to forgive ourselves, because we can be our own worst enemies. So self-forgiveness played a lot in my journey. And I detail the steps that I took to go from statistic to success, to succeed against all odds, overcome the obstacles to make it. I get very transparent in that book. And I can't believe it's been almost 10 years since I wrote that book. But the story is still so true today. You have to develop within you this spirit of determination and be determined to succeed, determined to rise, no matter what you encounter, no matter how hard life gets. You have to develop that mindset that even on my worst day, I'm still going to succeed. I'm still going to show up. Yes, it's not toxic positivity, because we do get down, we do get discouraged, but we continue to rise. You continue to go. You continue to push. I've had some very low days in these 25 years of being a mom, and I've had some very high days. But each day, I found a way to show up. Even if my showing up was just getting out of bed and getting dressed that day, I showed up. I may have been crying tears while doing so, but I showed up. When you develop the mindset that you are going to succeed against all odds, you learn to put that resiliency and that buoyancy into practice. Now, remember, one of my former pastor and friend of mine, told me years ago when my kids were little, he was like, I had a dream about you. You were an elephant in this dream. And in this dream, stuff kept knocking you over. You kept stumbling, you kept falling, but you got back up. No matter what got in your way, no matter what you tripped over, no matter how much you fell or rolled, you were the elephant in the dream and you got back up. He's like, that speaks to your spirit of resiliency and your spirit of buoyancy, the spirit that you have to bounce back. And that has stuck with me because it just developed in me from that time. When somebody tells me, oh, you can't, watch me. That was a mindset I had to develop. Oh, you can't do this? Well, watch me. Well, why are you doing this? Because I want to. Because I can. Oh, you shouldn't be doing this? All right, well, watch me do it. Those were the things that on my toughest day, and probably the stubborn part of me too, that helped push me through, that got me through. When they say you can't, watch me. Because after all, who is they? Who are they? We love to throw around that they said this and they said that, but who are they? They don't mean a thing. The only thing that matters is you, your God, your spiritual source, whatever you tap into to make it another day. So I encourage you, the next time somebody tells you you can't, say, watch me, and you get it done. So as my son approaches his 25th birthday, as I approach 25 years of being a mom, I had to stop. I had to celebrate. I was looking back at a picture. I shared it on my Instagram page that my uncle sent me. It was my junior prom, my last year before I became someone's mom. Not knowing what was in front of me, not knowing the journey that was going to come. But 25 years later, we made it. We survived. Came across another picture that my daughter had of me graduating with my master's. Now, I was on the extended bachelor's program. It took me 7 years to get my bachelor's, 2 years to get my master's, but I did it. And I did a bachelor's with my son was at adolescent and my oldest daughter was just born. And then I got my master's when my youngest daughter was just born. But I made it because I knew that was something for me. The one thing I always said is that education is something no one can take from you. And my mom encouraged me a long time ago when I was at Teen Mom, I'm just going to stop. I'm not going to go to college. She said, no, you're going to go. We're going to figure it out. Because once you stop, it's harder to get back into it. But then also, the time is going to pass. It's just a matter of how you spend it. And I kept that with me to push through and succeed to reach all of my goals that I set for myself. The time will pass regardless, but it's all a matter of how you spend it. And I became determined a long time ago, education is something no one can take from you. So whether you are going after a college degree, whether you are going after a certification, a trade, whatever that skill set is, do it. Because in life, you want to have choices. You want to have options. You don't ever want to be pigeonholed and stuck into one thing. And educating yourself is something no one can take from you. Because once you have the education, it's yours forever to use it how you please. So today I encourage you, if you needed a sign to keep going, to keep pushing, this is that sign. From that once broken teen mom, not knowing what was going to happen, to that broken woman in her 20s and 30s, figuring out life, figuring out how to be the mom, a wife, a woman, and all those things. And now to the woman I am today, who, yes, I'm still figuring things out, but I am not where I used to be. And I may not be where I want to be, but not where I used to be. So if you needed a sign to keep going, this is your sign. Keep pushing, my friend. Each day that you wake up is another chance to get it right. And remember, no matter what, you want to show up, because showing up is half the battle. And always remember that you've got this.